For nearly 2 decades, the rolling green hills, the dusty dirt roads, and the wooden fences of the Bartlett Fleming Ranch have felt like a second home to millions of viewers all around the world. We have watched characters grow up, we have celebrated their triumphs, and we have wept with them through their deepest heartbreaks. But right now, a sudden chill has swept over the peaceful landscape of High River, leaving the massive Heartland global fandom in a state of absolute shock and panic. A phrase has started circulating across internet forums, fan pages, and social media groups, a phrase that every single television lover dreads to hear: production has been halted. Rumors are flying wildly about the fate of the show, whispers are growing louder about the sudden departure of one of the ranch's most iconic figures, Tim Fleming, and the cloud of uncertainty hangs heavily over the future of the series. Is this truly the beginning of the end for the longest-running drama in television history, or is there a much bigger secret hidden behind the closed gates of the production office? The shocking truth behind the delays, the quiet contract disputes, and the unexpected choices being made behind the scenes are about to change everything you thought you knew about the upcoming season. When the news first leaked online that the cameras had stopped rolling on the stunning Alberta sets, fans immediately began to fear the absolute worst. The internet quickly became a storm of frantic questions, with many people wondering if the network had quietly decided to cancel the beloved family drama without giving it a proper farewell. However, to understand what is truly happening on the ground, we have to separate internet panic from the actual reality of making a television show that has survived for 20 years. In the television industry, when someone says production has been halted, it does not automatically mean the show is dead in the water. Instead, it usually means the product team has hit a massive logistical wall that requires them to press the pause button, step back, and reevaluate how they are spending their time and money. For a show as massive and long-running as Heartland, these walls are becoming higher and much harder to climb with every single passing year. The primary reason for the recent production pause comes down to a complicated mix of changing weather windows, rising filming costs, and the delicate nature of local location contracts. Filming a show in the foothills of Alberta is a beautiful but incredibly difficult task. The production relies heavily on the natural beauty of the landscape, meaning they are entirely at the mercy of the changing seasons. Over the past year, unpredictable weather patterns have thrown a massive wrench into the traditional shooting schedule, forcing the crew to delay major outdoor sequences that form the visual heart of the show. At the same time, the financial reality of keeping a show on the air for 2 decades is incredibly steep. As a television show ages, the cost of production naturally skyrockets because the cast, the crew, and the location leases become significantly more expensive to maintain. The production office had to temporarily halt the cameras, not to shut down the show permanently, but to completely rewrite the filming schedule to fit within a tightly controlled budget. Another major factor causing friction behind the scenes is a strategic decision regarding the overall length and structure of the season. For many years, fans were treated to long seasons filled with 18 or even more episodes, allowing the storylines to breathe and develop at a very relaxed, natural pace. However, the modern television landscape has shifted dramatically, and networks are forcing shows to tell tighter, more concentrated stories. The production team has spent the recent pause finalizing a transition to a strict 10-episode format. This change requires a massive amount of rewriting from scriptwriters, who suddenly have to condense massive character arcs, emotional family drama, and complex horse training subplots into a much shorter window of time. The halt was a necessary breath of air, giving the creative team the vital space they needed to ensure that every single one of those 10 episodes delivers the high-quality emotional punch that the audience expects, rather than rushing forward with sloppy, half-baked scripts. Ultimately, the truth behind the halt should bring a sense of relief to worried fans rather than despair. The pause was not a sign of death, but an act of protection by a production team that cares deeply about the legacy of the ranch. They chose to stop the cameras temporarily to fix the cracks in the foundation rather than letting the quality of the show crumble under financial and scheduling pressure. It proves that the network and the producers are not willing to just go through the motions to push out a cheap, rushed product to hit a deadline. They are fighting to keep the spirit of the show alive, balancing the harsh economic realities of the modern entertainment industry with the deep emotional responsibility they hold toward millions of loyal viewers. The gates of the Bartlett Fleming Ranch are not closing for good. Instead, the crew is quietly working behind the scenes, adjusting the sails so that when the cameras finally start rolling again, the journey will be smoother, stronger, and more unforgettable than ever before. The true heart of the ranch has always been its people, and few characters have left a bigger mark on the dirt roads of High River than Tim Fleming. For nearly 2 decades, Chris Potter has brought this incredibly complex, stubborn, and deeply passionate father figure to life, turning him into a cornerstone of the entire series. But as the whispers from the production office grow louder, a dark cloud of speculation has gathered directly over Tim's future on the ranch. Rumors are spreading like wildfire that Tim Fleming might be facing his final ride, leaving fans terrified that the show is preparing to say goodbye to one of its most essential leaders. To understand why these rumors have taken such a powerful hold of the community, we have to look closely at both the dramatic hints dropped in recent storylines and the real-world shifts happening behind the scenes with the actor himself. In the world of television drama, a character like Tim Fleming is incredibly rare. He is a man who started as an outsider, fighting his way back into the lives of his daughters, Lou and Amy, after years of mistakes and estrangement. We have watched him stumble, pick himself up, and grow into the protective, fierce guardian of the family legacy. Because he is the loudest voice in the room and the man who never backs down from a fight, the mere thought of the ranch without him feels completely impossible to imagine. Yet, insider reports suggest that the writers are introducing a massive narrative shift for season 20, one that forces Tim into the most vulnerable position he has ever faced. Rumors point toward a major health scare or a sudden life-altering event that will completely strip away his ability to run the daily operations of the ranch, forcing a dramatic changing of the guard that will test the family's strength like never before. This potential storyline isn't just a random dramatic twist, it is deeply connected to the real-world logistical realities of a long-running television show. Chris Potter is not just a beloved star in front of the camera, he has also become an invaluable creative force behind it, regularly stepping into the director's chair to shape the visual and emotional tone of the series. Directing a television episode is a massive, exhausting commitment that requires weeks of preparation, long hours of scouting locations, and endless days in the editing room. As a result, balancing the immense responsibilities of being a leading actor and a key director seat